Michelle.
Mess it up.
How are you? Good.
He's got a lot of jobs.
Okay, we're good. Welcome. Today is October 17th, 2022. This is the Town of Babylon Planning Board. We do have one public hearing today. We will start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Jerry, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, could you please call the roll?
Patrick Halpin,
Present.
Frank Santos, Julianne Jerry O'Neill, Dan Truchin,
Present.
Ed Wynn,
Present.
Rich Casey, Rich Groh, Juan Leon,
Present.
Matt Esposito.
Okay. Before we begin the public hearing, I want to read this statement into the record. The Planning Board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the Planning Board may determine that any of the approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. Denise?
Item A on the agenda, public hearing, major subdivision, job number 22-47C, Town of Babylon, Phase 2 subdivision, proposes to subdivide 23 parcels into 6 in order to create the development block for Phase 2 of Wyandanch Rising.
Okay, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, my name is Rachel Shelfo. I'm the Planning Commissioner for the Town of Babylon.
Now, the Deputy Commissioner issued this memo regarding this project. Do you have any questions, comments, or any revisions that you would like to make to this?
No.
Any objections?
No,
Okay,
no
please
objections.
proceed.
Thank you. So as you all know, this is a town-sponsored subdivision to create the first part of what is going to be Block 2 and the second phase of the Wyandanch Rising development project. Before I present the specifics of the proposed subdivision, I'd like to start by giving you the overall development plan for Block 2 to give the board some context for why we are proceeding the way we are proceeding with this subdivision. So before you on the screen, we have the overall Block 2 layout. This is the block that is created by Straight Path to the west, Long Island Avenue to the north, Doe Street to the east, and Commonwealth Avenue to the south. This block will contain 2 new buildings. The first is Building LM, which Matt is showing right now. Building LM is located on Straight Path and Long Island Avenue. The second proposed building is Building N, which is currently proposed and under review in the Planning Department for the Academy Charter School. In addition to those 2 buildings, there's an existing neighbor, and our partner in this Phase 2 development is the existing Wyandanch Post Office, which will remain where you see on the map. In addition, there is a new park that is being proposed as part of this development. It's called the South Lawn. It is 2 parts there, and it's going to be an opportunity for active and passive recreation. It'll include a traditional playground area, a community garden, which is one of the items that the Wyandanch community had asked for, that they would like a place for a community garden. And in addition, there will be a dog run, because with all the new families that are moving in, we want to make sure there's an opportunity for recreation. In addition, we have the pedestrian plaza that is proposed as part of the overall Phase 2 development, which is at the north, and that is a walking connection to get to the railroad and the other side. So it's connecting Phase 2, which is being proposed here, with the existing Phase 1. There is also future townhouse development that is proposed. This is the single-family home component of Wyandanch Rising. It's always been a part of the plan, and it's about 55 or so, to exact number to be determined, but townhouse component that will be on the eastern side of the South Lawn. And you could kind of see us stepping down that is proposed here from the tallest building right on Straight Path and Long Island Avenue. You get a little bit lower with the Academy Charter School, Building N, which is coming down from 5 to 3 or 4. Then you have the park, and then the townhouses will be lower profile buildings, 2 or 3 stories, to kind of connect to the existing residential community that exists on Elm Street as you sort of proceed further east. So that is the overall concept plan for Phase 2, which brings us to this specific subdivision that we are looking for approval for today. So the subdivision before the board is comprised of 6.57 acres. It is all town-owned parcels, and it is entirely within the Wyandanch Form-Based Code zoning district. As Denise stated, 6 lots are being created out of what is currently 23 smaller lots. So just to give an overview of the, thank you. Just to give an overview of the 6 lots that are being created, Lot 1 is located at the corner of Straight Path and Long Island Avenue. It is the largest lot that is being created. It is 3.211 acres. It'll accommodate the proposed Building L, which I mentioned earlier. It is a 5-story mixed-use building with 219 residential units. It will be 100% affordable development at varying levels of affordability. It will be a mix of studios, 1, 2, and 3 family bedroom units. The first story will also have 8,674 square feet of community facility space, which will front on Straight Path. Building L has been under review with the town for quite some time. It is almost through the 4-step form-based code review process, and the next step is for building permit review, so it is close to the end of the review process. We have some elevations that I'm hoping we can share so you could kind of get a sense of what Building LM will look like. There you could kind of see it in context with buildings A and B and the train station parcel that are to the north in Phase 1. That is a very good rendering of what this will look like on this block. Then we have a little bit more detail on the building design, and I think that the Albany East organization has done a really nice job breaking up what is a very long building, right? So they've kind of had it articulated, kind of goes in and out a little bit, breaking up the design with different materials, different colors to really give it the appearance of a city block. And I think it's really, really, they've done a really good job with it. So we have a couple more slides, I think, on that. And then, Matt, when you're ready, just to go back to Lot 2 of the subdivision map. Okay, thank you. So Lot 2 is located on Commonwealth, and a new roadway that is being created by this subdivision, the new roadway is called West Lawn, because it is on the west side of the new South Lawn, which is the recreational park area I spoke about earlier. Lot 2 is proposed at 0.98 acres, or 42,841 square feet. It is the future home of Building N. The Academy Charter School has filed an application for Building N, and that is currently under review by the Planning Department and the Form-Based Code architect. But that is in sort of the early to middle stages of review still. Lot 3, which is that irregular shaped lot next to the post office property. We are currently working on renegotiating an existing MOU with the United States Post Office. This would lead and include a potential land swap. We would cede that area that you are seeing and the lot area that's included in Lot 3 to the post office to be added to their property in exchange for land at the rear of their current property in order to achieve additional parking that is needed for future Building N. So that is something we are currently in negotiation with the post office for, and that piece that you're seeing is sort of been drafted to be added on to their existing parcel. Lot 4 is 4,460 square feet. It is located on Long Island Avenue and forms the northern boundary of proposed Road A. This will ultimately be a part of the pedestrian plaza that is being created to connect this phase, Phase 2, to Phase 1 and the train station building. Lot 5 is a little over a half acre. It is the bottom portion of the South Lawn, which is the town-owned park and recreation area that we've been discussing. Lot 5 is being created at this time to establish the roadway network. With the development of that Lot 5, we then have the West Lawn and East Lawn and Road B sort of all being created and coming into play. This is for the town to be able to bring utilities into the subdivision. As per the master development agreement, the town is responsible for the infrastructure and bringing the infrastructure to the project. So for us, we need to get going with the construction on Lot 1, we need to sort of start to get this roadway network into place. So last is a very tiny lot, which I'm hoping you could see on this map. It's a tiny sliver of an existing town-owned parcel that requires subdivision in order to create a flush western street line for West Lawn. So an existing parcel is kind of just small subdivision to kind of make that west roadway line flush. So those are the 6 lots that we're creating at this time. 3 roads are being abandoned as part of this subdivision: Woodland Road, Elm Street Extension, and part of Grand Boulevard. Matt is just showing those now. That's Elm Street Extension, that sort of little leg that's coming off of Woodland. And then part of Grand Boulevard that is surrounded by town-owned parcels is being abandoned at this time. These are all currently in the road abandonment process with the town board and the town attorney's office. So along with these 6 lots that we've discussed tonight and the abandonment of these roads, a new road network is being created. So basically, that's all I have on direct, and I wanted to see what questions that you all had.
Thank you very much. Do any of the board members have any questions? Jerry?
You talked about at the northeast corner there, is there going to be a pedestrian crossover?
So that pedestrian plaza area is sort of like a walkable space to get you to a couple of different transit opportunities. There's the overpass to get to the railroad. Matt's gonna little man it for us.
Okay. You have to cross over Long Island Avenue to get onto that pedestrian crossover.
Yes, so that the top of that plaza is going to sort of lead you to the proper spot to cross.
Crossover.
Exactly. There's also access to the Suffolk County buses will be available at the head of that pedestrian plaza as well.
And Road A and Road B, are those going to be public roads to drive through once the development is finished?
Yes, they are. Road A is going to be one-way in, but these roads that are connected are all going to be town-owned and town-maintained roads.
Is that parking that I see where it says East Lawn and West Lawn, those little rectangles on the side of the
You're correct.
park areas?
Yeah.
That's parking.
Yes, there is some parking proposed on the sides of East Lawn and West Lawn.
So it's not just for the residents in the townhouses to come over there, people from the community can drive in, park their car on those streets.
Yes, to access the park, absolutely.
Any other questions, Jerry? No? No?
Jerry, in fact, with the townhouse concept, there may even be garages that kind of come into play. So I don't,
I did want to ask about how the townhouses are going to be configured.
well, we have a
Do you
sort
have
of,
something that we could see?
We just have the rough layout at this
Okay, that's
point. They're sort of not before us in terms of an application under the form-based code review at this time. So it's always been a part of this block. It's always been sort of laid out in a similar configuration to this, but until such time as, you know, it kind of gets a little bit more concrete, we don't have an exact configuration to show you at this time.
But you did mention that you anticipate that there will be garages.
That was one of the
For
things
the
that we were
townhouses.
looking at to help with the parking, yeah.
Right, okay, possibly, yeah,
Possibly, I would say.
fair enough, okay. Frank, Dan? No, okay, any other questions, Watt?
Hi, can you talk a little bit about the affordable housing that you mentioned? And if you have any idea how many units will be
Sure.
there,
Yeah.
or you know, what classifies as affordable housing?
So it's actually a range of affordability. The Albany's organization, as they've done in some of the buildings that have been previously built, it's not, they don't all come in at the same level. So it's not like all 80% of AMI. It kind of goes from a range of, you know, substantially less than that to maybe like 110 or 120 percentile. So it's a range of affordability. The proposal before us is 219 units, and it is proposed to be 100% affordable. But as I said, at that various levels of affordability. The units will be all different sizes, some studios, some one bedroom, some two bedroom, and some three bedroom.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Jerry? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Are the townhouses included in the 219?
No, that's 219 is just in
The-
building LM that you're
LM, okay.
seeing. Yep.
Okay. And the townhouses, are they for sale townhouses or are they rental?
They would be home ownership.
They will.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was the proposal.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Frank?
The trash pickup or containers, are they going to, for the building LM,
Yes.
are they going to be one, okay. you show me.
Yeah, so they're shown on the plan. That's something that would be reviewed as part of the form-based code four-step review process. So that's reviewed internally by the planning department, the form-based code architect, and also our internal department. So like our DEC reviewed and commented on that.
And we'll, of course, have the opportunity to see that when it's finished, when you're ready to present the full.
Yeah, so actually, the individual buildings don't come to any board. It's designed to be more of an expedited review procedure, and the review is conducted by the,
Well, then we want more information right now.
well, then I'm like, come on, I
I'm
brought
only
some
kidding.
pictures, and
I'm only kidding. I'm sure it'll be terrific. I'm only kidding. All right, questions? No? Questions? No? Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. We very much
Yes.
appreciate your presentation. This is a very exciting new part of this phase of Wyandanch Rising. It's
Absolutely.
really going to take it from where it is to an even higher level.
yep,
Very exciting.
completely agree.
Good work.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? No, okay. Yeah. Yes, sir, come on up. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Sure. My name is Richard Cunningham. I live at 9 Fairfield Drive, Dix Hills. The Babylon Town Line is right over my
Okay.
fence line.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Absolutely. I'm
Okay.
a Town of Babylon resident.
Please proceed.
Anyway, I drive through Wyandanch several times a day, and I've been watching this project since it broke ground in 2013, right? That's when the shovels first started going, and we're talking about additional housing units, and you know, I'm sad to see there aren't more people here at this public hearing, but one of the common questions is what is the current occupancy rate of the existing units, and how many of the residents in those units were originally in Wyandanch? You know, this was broached as a community improvement project. Certainly, it has increased the visual appeal, but we don't perceive an economic benefit to Wyandanch, the Wyandanch community right now. We're wondering how many permanent jobs have been generated by the Wyandanch Rising project. Sewers ran up Straight Path a little bit further to increase the number of housing units and hopefully spur some economic development as well. We're wondering if that actually happened. I'm a retired school administrator, former superintendent, former assistant superintendent for business. I've worked with the Academy Charter School in a former job. I am not going to speak poorly about the Academy Charter School at all. I've found them to be an excellent organization. However, it's going to have Academy Charter School's presence in Wyandanch is going to have an adverse effect on the Wyandanch Public School District. It just is. There's no way about it. The state aid will come to Wyandanch Public School, and then the per pupil charge will go to the Academy Charter School, and it's not an exact offset in the operational cost for the Wyandanch School District. So just know those who cannot attend the Academy Charter School are going to continue to attend a school district that has struggled and has had a state monitor there. And it's a concern because as a resident of Half Hollow Hills who sent my children to the Half Hollow Hills School District, and kids on one side of the street would get on a bus to Half Hollow Hills, and the kids who were on the other side of the street would go to Wyandanch, had very, very different economic educational opportunity. And Academy Charter School is going to impact that even more. And that's rough for the kids growing up in Wyandanch, at least in my opinion. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Are there any other comments that anybody would like to make regarding this application? No? Okay. Thank you. Matt? I'm sorry, Rachel, do you want to, some issues that were raised that you may have some insight?
Yeah, I definitely have some answers with respect to the occupancy of the existing buildings, and the news is really, really positive. I want to say they're all over 90% occupied. I could give one concrete example with Building E, which is one of the buildings in Phase 1. It's approximately 125 units. And I want to say that when there was the lottery for 125 units, I want to say it was over 1,100 applicants. So they're not, the buildings aren't empty. The occupancy rate is quite high. We just had the ribbon cutting for building the Liner building, which is the building that is operated by Self-Help, which lines the perimeter of the parking garage, so we call it the Liner building. That is 94 senior affordable units, and that is also, I want to say as of last week, was up to 90% occupancy, and that's like one of the newer buildings to have gotten their CO. So, so the numbers are quite high.
Yeah, if you could provide, if it's available, the percentage of those residents that came from Wyandanch, I'd be curious.
Yeah.
If that's readily available.
Yeah, we could get you some backup
That
information.
would be terrific.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions, comments? No? Ed?
That is supplied by the Southwest Sewer District.
Yes,
That's right.
yes, and the new phase will connect
be-
as well. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And that is a high water table area, at least in parts of it. That's exactly. Right.
You have a high water table, you have high density proposed, you have
So that infrastructure has been built, it's in place, and it's operating?
Exactly.
Okay, good. With ample room to expand. Okay, any other questions or comments? Thanks, Mr. Groh. No, okay. Matt, what do we have to do next? 10/24, okay. I need a motion to extend the record to October 24th. Motion by Ed,
Motion to
a
extend.
second by Jerry. All in favor?
No, we're not here on the 20th.
We're not here on the 24th. We'll come back for the 24th if you need us. All right, so we'll keep our schedules flexible. All right, so it's 24, we need a motion, we have that, all in favor? Aye. Approved, thank you. Thank you very much, good to see you. Come more often.
All right.
Okay, all right, that concludes our public hearing portion of our agenda. We're now going to be going into work session.